All right, you introduce one of the teams, Neuro. I'll take it from there.
All right. On the north side of things, in the red, we have two magnificent players representing Clan Pigpan. It is the Pigman himself. And on his side, on the right side, representing Clan Root, it is Vibu-chan. Amazing.
The crowd cheers. They go wild. Opposing them in this fun but large potato 2v2 show match. In the bottom of the map, spawning in the blue, is Winter. I'm trying to do the caster zoom in. It's amazing. And as well on his team, his partner in crime in the yellow. It is game time.
They've got a nice team name. WinterTime. Or Game SC. So Game Time has been very much up and coming with his stream. Big ups to him. He used to be just a kind of tournament player and online cups and that sort of thing. But he's been streaming a whole bunch, getting that sub count up. I think he's like above 225, which is awesome. But so far...
And when did he start full-time streaming, do you know?
I think it was near the end of last year. It's only been months. It hasn't been years, I don't think. Maybe you could correct us
after. It's really impressive.
Yeah.
It's been really putting in the grind, the hours, the hard work,
yeah,
motivation and consistency it takes to build a stream community.
Yep, well they say the best way to market your channel is to be online. So just put in the hours.
100%. There's no other way. I guess you could cause some sort of controversy or something.
Yeah, make some noise.
That doesn't help if you're not online.
Bang some pots and pans together. So we've got a bunch of interesting fast gas builds for the players. This is a super short rush map, so attacks can happen really fast. It looks like everyone got their ling speed going. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 ling speed
Yeah, the
upgrades.
only notable difference with the WinterTime team is that it looks like Winter hasn't gone for the expo like all the other players in the game. He decides he wants to put on a little bit of aggression early on.
Yeah, by a little bit we mean like a crap ton.
See what he can pull off, but defended well by Pig and Vibe. They completely backed this up with taking very minimal losses.
Yep, the Lingbane dance is going. Some
3
ling
stages of
speed.
ZVZ, right, Neuro?
Yep, you know it. That's our 9 to 5. Okay, the Bane train is coming in. Winter SC with a lot of those tasty bombas. Gonna see if they can go up the ramp.
5 big Banelins going up the ramp into the base of Pig.
Oh, Pig morphing some Banes to block
Pig's
them.
morphing Banes. That was excellent play by Pig. The drone splits are great as well. Look at this. Played out perfectly by Pig. But will it be enough?
There's a lot of chaos going on. We can see in the units tab, everyone's got somewhere between 13 and 17 drones. Stuff is blowing up all over the place. Everyone's heart is pounding, and they're confused and alarmed. But Pig does have a goal behind this. So he can lose a lot of workers here and still have a pretty reasonable income.
Yeah, and he has actually lost a fair number of workers at this point. Pig, I mean, he's still got 14, but how many has he lost? He's lost 29 units. How many of those were drones? I'm not sure how to bring that up.
I know there's a command for it in a 1v1 cast, but in the team game stuff you have a little bit fewer options. All we can tell is there's a lot of Zerg stuff that has died so far.
So much Zerg stuff has died.
Yeah, but no
and
one's
there's just
fully
like
dead.
a mixture of Baneling Lings out here at the middle of the map between Vibes and Pig's base, and it's just very hard to decipher whose Banelings are who. Oh, WinterTime's team is doing a lot of damage here in the main. Oh, the Bane hits!
That was
Took it taken out a
brutal.
lot there.
Vibes down
Now-
to 9 drones.
Yeah, 9 drones. That's actually devastating. But I mean, Winter only does have 12, so there's only a 3 drone difference. But this, ooh, that was actually a big Bane hit.
Yep, poor game time.
Forcing time down to 11 drones. So a good counter harass by PigVibe's team, because it looks like they've kind of evened it up the playing field a little bit.
This is one of those situations where some people are like, well, Who's ahead? No one, actually. Everyone is behind now. I think they all have less drones than they started with before the aggression happened.
And of course, you've got to remember that each game you start with like 11 drones, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, I mean, the only two that are above that drone count now is Pig and Time. Game Time.
Wow, Vibe is down to 3 workers. Winter has 10. Game Time is running back up a little bit. Vibe just has that
Pig,
strong
where you at, bro? We need some teamwork.
He's getting the Banes out.
It actually looked like WinterTime's relentless aggression might pay off here. It looks like they've really hindered the economy of Vibe Pig, and Vibe down to like 1 drone.
So collectively, PigVibe has 4 drones and 2 queens, a Bane, and 16 Zerglings. This is going to be very difficult. Pig could transfer resources to Vibe, but he could only send gas.
Yeah, he only has 4 drones himself, so he's not looking too crash hot at the moment.
Told you this was going to be super fast. Best of 7. We're going to have like 6-minute games. With all the different colors, did you put on the player colors instead of the team colors?
At the moment, I think I have player colors on, so
it looks like a rave.
Colors.
Yeah. Looks like a rave with all the neon Banes.
Yeah, yeah. Well, game 1 looks like I don't think Pig can, carry the team here to victory at this point. Vibes are tapped out, Pig's tapped out, and game 1 goes to WinterTime with that swift victory.
That was pretty extreme. Intense. A lot of these matches are going to vary based upon the map. That was probably the most aggressive 2v2 map we'll see. So we might see something like Lair Tech or a Roach or a Mutalisk, perhaps. This was definitely the down and dirty, get the Ling Bane real quick and just try and kill each other. And it worked. Someone died. No rush.
Yeah, and I feel like that all came into the play with Winter actually skipping the... Oh, did I leave the lobby? Well, yeah, Winter's skipping that expansion and going for super aggression.
Who needs a natural expansion?
Not when you have, ZVZ, VZ.
1312 is a very good build. So I think, yeah, there's one random card for each team, but the funny thing is you could play random and still get Zerg anyway. So we're not guaranteed to see anything aside from all Zerg.
Right, that's really interesting. So each player from each team has 1 card.
GameTime is claiming that Winter is using GameTime's random card for himself.
Right, did Winter go random last game? Did he use that card?
I don't think so.
Okay. I wasn't paying attention.
Oh, no. Yeah, maybe you're right. So I don't think GameTime is being salty. He's saying that Winter is utilizing that token. So they've used both then. Okay.
I see. That means Pig and Vibe still have 2 cards up their sleeve.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Vibe's random is quite strong as well.
Yeah. I feel like all these players off races are very strong as well. So using that card is actually very powerful, having that the diversity of race. Because when you get ZVZ, it's just like kind of, there's only so much you can do, right? Ling Bane versus Ling Bane, the 3 stages. And then when you get especially since the opposing team isn't sure what race you've got as well, you can really play that to your advantage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got cannon rushed by a random today. That's always an exciting moment.
Oh, very exciting.
What race is my opponent? Oh, god damn it.
Well, that answers that question.
Oh, we've got a drone scout here from Pig. Starting the adventure
Taking the
early.
watchtower. Yeah, because he really wants to know what that random race is. He doesn't want to be surprised by any proxies, any cannon rushes, you know, any early games. He's going to get the early scout off, and he gets in the main base, automatically scouts that Winter has gotten Terran.
I don't know how much 2v2 some of the viewers have played, but one of the classic combo timings in 2v2 is when a Terran player goes for Mass Hellion off one base and Zerg goes for Mass Ling. It's really hard to deal with.
It is actually a really popular and strong strategy in 2v2 because you got those Zerglings, which just like kill drone lines and, well, worker lines in general really fast. And if you're a Zerg player, you can't engage their Zerglings because the backup of the Hellions just roast your Zerglings.
Yep. Roach is pretty good. Pig and Vibe might be aware that that's in the meta. They're both pretty experienced. Maybe they've done 2v2 here or there.
I think so. I think at least one of the players between Vibe and Pig will have to try and tech to Roaches in time for the incoming pending attack that I think WinterGameTime will do, because they will want to try and engage early to try and hit that timing of the Hellion Zergling, as it is a very proven, strong strategy.
We do see the factory reactor for Winter. Pig is viciously biting that SCV.
And that's one of the that's one of the advantages here for Pigs. He sees the tech structures going on, keeping that drone alive in Winter's main base, knowing that he's probably going to go for that reacted Hellion play, seeing all those tech structures. How will he react, Neuro?
Probably panic, surprise, and alarm.
Oh man, those are very very stressful emotions with big potatoes on the line. You know what I mean?
Yep. People want that tasty treasure from winning this amazing show match. Wow, Pig is keeping the drone alive by taking an extractor. Let's see if this pans out. GameTime does have two little Zerglings.
But there's too many Zerglings now. He'll be able to finish off that extractor really fast. Oh, didn't get the cancel off on that extractor either.
Disastrous.
But back in their hometown, Vibe does have the Roach Warren going down. And looks like Winter is going to take down Pig's Overlord here. He's scouting Overlord with two very pesky Cyclones.
Lots of Lings out for game time. This could be some pressure. Another Overlord falls. It's just not a good time to be an Overlord.
Didn't quite get it though, so that's very lucky actually for Vibe. The more Overlords that they pick off before engaging, it'll just make it so much more difficult for a Vibe and Pig.
Wingbane coming up the ramp. Queens and Lings trying frantically to defend.
So many Zerglings going down to GameTime's Banelings. That was actually devastating for Vibe.
Where is Pig's army? He's making some Banes. Oh, but it trapped Vibe's Queen outside. It can't help.
Oh no, now these four Cyclones are just doing so much damage with the support of these Speedlings.
Banes coming in. But Banes aren't very good against Cyclones.
Yeah, these four Cyclones just seem uncontested at this point in time. Not even any Roaches in production here for Pig either. He really needs to get some units to counter these Cyclones, otherwise it's just going to be doing so much damage.
Look at the kills.
I fear that they've done too much damage already.
11 kills, 17 kills, 10 kills, and 8 kills. These Cyclones are forced to be reckoned with.
Pig! Where are you, Pig? I need my Roaches, Pig! Please! I'm dying over here!
Can't help you. The technology isn't there. There's no Roach Warren.
The timing just hit too soon. The GG well played was called, and game number 2 goes to Winter and Game Time with the swift 2-0 lead over their Vibe and Pig opponents.
Nice.
Nice! Pulling out all the strats, pulling out very strong strats. Wasn't the exact strategy I was expecting, but with the recent, you know, patch updates and stuff, I feel like Cyclones are the meta at the moment. They're very strong, and they do hit very early, you know, so very strong strategy for Winter to execute there with Game Time Zergling support, and it worked for them. We'll have to see if Vibe or Pig will pull out their random card this game, try and get like back into this, because it is only a best of 7, which means you only have to win 4 games to take this entire show match. And with those over 300 big potatoes on the line, you want to be the team that wins.
How many potatoes could you buy at the grocery store at $300? I feel like that's multiple carts full.
A fair few. I think maybe, yeah, I'd say 4 large shopping carts full of potatoes. Mixed with some sweet potatoes in there, you know, just to, you know, even the price out a little bit. Because sweet potatoes are a little bit more pricey than the normal white potatoes you'd get. Like the Idaho or the Charisma potato.
Do you like red potatoes?
I do like all potatoes. I don't eat red potatoes very often. I'd say that my most common potato I do like to cook or eat is the white potato family. You know, with the potato fries or the baked potato or mashed potato. And a close second would be the sweet potato. You can make really good sweet potato cheesecake with sweet potato.
Magnificent.
True story.
This map has more dead space than any map I have ever seen.
Yeah, it actually makes the map look quite small with how much dead space is surrounding the land, but it isn't that small of a map. It's just a very large amount of airspace around the islands.
So in the bottom we've got Wintertime, top we've got PigVibe. If there is going to be a map for mutas, this might be it. It is a reasonably long rush.
It is a reasonably long rush, but we'll have to see if a little bit of meta comes into play, because we did see in the first 2 games that Game Time and Winter went for very early aggression strategies. And is PigVibe expecting that this time and maybe going to play it a little bit more safe? You know, maybe put up some static defense or some Sim Cities blocking with the queens on the ramp, or things like that to try and avoid dying so early. With that meta in mind, maybe they will play it too safe. And this time maybe Winter Game Time will go for a little bit more of the safe, greedy, macro style. Maybe not safe, greedy. Those two contradict each other. Just greedy.
Yeah, basically as greedy as you can possibly be and still defend stuff. So poker term, you would call that solid. Solid is playing in a way which is not exploitable to the opponent. So they can't scout it and say, oh, I'm going to all in this build and it'll be great. No, you account for different aggression and you have a plan for how to defend it.
Ooh, but in saying that, Neuro, we see Winter throwing down that baneling nest, getting his Zergling speed, and it's all off one base.
They've been doing well on the front foot, so if it's working, why stop?
That's true, but with it happened already in 2 games in a row, I'm thinking that Pig and Vibe might be expecting it now. You know, we do see that Vibe is going for the one base play himself, but it's not going to be Ling Bane, it's going to be Ling Roach.
Oh, Vibe is taking Burrow for his roaches. That should be interesting.
I love that. Oh, I love that. He's going to do a little bit of burrowed roach play. And this could be quite effective because we haven't seen anyone tech to lair as of yet. So you'd have to build those spore crawlers. And as we know, Neuro, spore crawlers aren't that mobile. You'll have to unroot them and then reroute them to have that detection of burrowed roaches.
Queen of Pig falls, but it was between a Mineral Patch and a Vespian Geyser, so she got the best volley she possibly could. Vibes roaches
revealing the
around.
roaches as well. Ooh, picking off banelings with the roaches is beautiful for Vibe and Pig.
Oh, and the queen
with
blocks.
That was actually awesome. That microplay from Pig was on point, not losing any of his lava to that queen block.
Bunch more Banes from game time. This roach count is increasing, though. It's an ever-looming problem. How are they going to deal with this? The Banes don't trade well. And Burrow is done for Vibe. So he can burrow these if they get injured.
Yeah, he's definitely utilizing that. He does accidentally not burrow one roach at a time, so he loses it. But these following roaches, they're doing well at staying alive.
Ling's running around the outside. Gonna try and get into Pig's base. The Speedlings do have mobility on the roaches. Oh, huge Bane hits.
That Baneling hit was awesome.
Pig is counterattacking with a few Lings in Game Time's base, causing a little bit of lost mining time.
The good thing for Game Time and Winter here at this point I can see is that Burrow Roaches was revealed on the other side of the map, which does give them a little bit of time to prepare, but I'm not sure if there was enough time. We'll have to find out, because these 6 roaches are looming closer to their mineral lines, and if they're going to do enough economic damage, it could be the end of the game right here, right now, Neuro.
Yeah, well, part of the problem was they both went for pretty cheesy builds. They don't have the economy to afford the counter to grow roaches.
Oh, perfect choke point for Vibe, and that's just going to be it. Tapping out. Vibe Pig finally making a win here. Taking game number 3.
2-1. Burrow hype.
I do feel like with that map specifically, there was a larger rush distance. Bit of a tongue twister, that word. So maybe not going for the early aggression from Winter wasn't the best play. And I would have loved to see Mutas if they had just played a little bit more greedy, a little bit more macro, and a little bit more solid tech to those Mutas.
It's kind of interesting seeing these teams get to know each other. Usually, you'll try the aggressive builds first, and then once the enemies figure out how to stop them, then you scale it back and try a different strategy for the mid or late game. So each of these games has gotten a little bit longer than the previous. A little bit more workers. We may even see someone get up to 30 workers.
Oh man, if that happens today, it's going to be a bit of a game changer.
Legendary.
It's going to be legendary. I'm so excited if that happens.
Go, go. Green lights.
So the current score as we are standing is 2-1 in favor of Game Time Winter. Or also known as Winter Time.
Winter Time.
Gee, well, thanks for joining me, by the way, Neuro, for this fun 2v2 casting show match. It's great to have you on board. I thought I'd have to do it alone, and it was just a pleasant surprise when Tuco told me that you were happy to join.
Yeah, well, it's good practice for me. I've done solo casting for my subs on Saturdays, but I don't have much duo casting experience. It's a little bit different dynamic, kind of making space for the other person to fit stuff in.
To speak.
Yeah.
Because when you're solo casting, you have to try and fill that silence all the time.
Yep.
So it's like a completely different mindset. It's very difficult to do. Yeah. And I haven't casted in probably years. So having a lot of fun. It's great.
4 seconds of quiet time and the audience gets supremely bored. That's the StarCraft community.
Apparently it only takes 3 seconds to realize that there's silence.
Mm-hmm.
Which I feel is pretty valid.
And then the 4th second, they're like, what's going on? Is my stream broken? Alright, this is kind of a middle-of-the-road map, I would say. The difference between this map and the first one we saw is attackers have to ascend this big staircase up into the opponent, which I think gives some pretty interesting defensive options that they didn't have before. So it's less of an even battle and more of an uphill battle if you're going to be aggressors. But this is all Zerg again, there's no one random. Ooh, hatch first from Game Time. There's an interesting aspect of table image with cheesing and playing greedy, where if you cheese a whole bunch, then the enemy is expecting cheese again, so they're defensive. And you can offset that by being greedy.
Yeah, that's true. But we do see Winter, I feel like he really favors this one-base play in 2v2 specifically. But this game, Neuro, he's done something a little bit different. He's expanded.
Unheard of. This was a gas pool hatch, so the ling speed should be done a bit earlier than a hatch first build. Vibe's going for the quick roach horn again, no ling speed, and a second queen. Oh no, burrow. Burrow once again.
He's repeating the same strategy he did last game. I mean, like you said, Neuro, if it works, why change it?
Use it until it stops working.
Yeah, until it stops working. Like what Winter did, because now he's expanding. But in saying that, I don't know if any scout-offs have happened from Winter or Game Time. So they aren't really aware that this is happening. And because they're not going for that early aggression like last game, they don't really have Zerglings to scout it yet. Oh, in saying that, a Zergling is going to the main base of Vibe. Is it going to scout it? Oh my god. Yeah, he scouted the roaches. He now knows it's coming. He's going to have to get some spores.
Game Time is dropping a spine. Baneness as well. Winter has a roach horn this time. Looks like PigVibe moving out. Ling speed is done for Pig. Vibe's burrow is just about to finish, and he does have a base behind this.
Yeah, this is going to be really interesting to see how this goes down. Vibe's really got to micro these roaches, make sure he doesn't lose a single one. If they get low on HP, he's going to have to burrow immediately. Nice round on the queens, with the roach support picking them off very quickly.
Game Time doesn't have ling speed yet. It's pretty difficult to come help. Looks like they're focusing down Winter. Lots of Banes and roaches going up the ramp. There's
a Baneling roach train. Oh my god. Into the min line straight away. So many clumped up drones. A chunk of them do get... Oh, I think that was a bit of a misclick there from Pig. He exploded on so many lava, which I don't feel like was the most efficient use of 3 Banelings. Maybe 1 would have been okay, but 3 was a lot. Bit of excessive, I think.
Yeah, well, fortunately it doesn't matter. Winter's down to 1 drone regardless.
Yeah, pretty much eliminated 1 player from the 2v2 duo.
Game Time's going into Pig's base with a bunch of Banelings. Queen is blocking.
Oh yeah, that pathing though, really messing Game Time up. Not doing the damage as quickly as he'd want to have done. But he is now getting on top of those drones with the Zerglings, but Vibe, being a magnificent team player, helps out his teammate Pig, and makes those Zerglings turn around and return home.
Winter didn't make any more drones behind this. He made Lings instead, in kind of a last-ditch effort to wound someone, but both Vibe and Pig are in pretty good sorts. Pig has 11 drones. Game Time does have 27 though, so we could see some resource sharing to try and get Winter back into the game.
That's true, that's true. I mean, I feel like the drone count is pretty even among the shared teams, if you know what I mean. Like, it could kind of balance each other out if he just shares some of these minerals to Winter, Game Time that is. But the tech here, I feel like it seems like it does favor Pig Vibe team at the moment. We see the Spire going down in Vibe's main base. He's already got the Lair. He's got 2 saturated mineral lines. And he's also applying pressure across the map.
Roaches pushing up, Bane supporting, so those Lings can't really do too much.
Yeah, I really feel like Pig really doesn't want to detonate any of these Banelings until he absolutely has to on the nice juicy clump of Beetlings that Game Time has. Oh, 1 Baneling gets detonated.
Good hits.
Ooh, nice splitting of the Banelings. Trying to go around, flank the Zerglings, trying to zone them out a little bit, but the roaches do manage to pick it up. It does look like Vibe's roaches will get cleaned up here. He's not even borrowing. Oh, he is actually borrowing them.
There was a spore made
but
in the
a couple
main,
of them
though.
did get picked off. Yeah, so they won't last forever, but they are still going to be annoying, keeping Game Time and Winter defensive because of this. Was that Winter's last drone?
Yeah. Poor little
Oh
guy.
man, feels bad, man.
Winter does have 4 roaches and a fire toilet monster. I mean, Ravager. Don't they look like that? Game Time has so many Zerglings, but the mutas are out in an instant
The
GG.
mutas are out. The instant GG goes down. Vibe, Pig, tie it up. 2-2 in game number 4.
Wow, look
Good
at the
comeback,
Appums. So many Appums. 425 APM for Vibe. 377
Yeah.
Game Time.
What is he doing?
Those poor low keyboards.
Yeah. It's funny, but Vibe's actually owned his keyboard for like 8 years or something ridiculous.
Do you know what kind it is?
It's the DAS keyboard.
Nice. Yeah, I have a Ducky. Ducky
I
keyboard
have
is...
a filter.
Philco is good too. Yeah, if you get a good enough keyboard and you're like one of those raging gamers and you try to chop it, you will injure your hand.
Yeah, they're very well made actually. I have to give them that. They feel nice, they're tactile, and they last a long time. So definitely worth the money. I feel like I'm sponsored, but I'm not. I'm like, yeah, guys, definitely get this keyboard.
See if Whiskey has keyboards older than everyone in the match and casting.
Oh, really? It's funny when you go to a LAN, right? You go to a live event, a live tournament, and you see people that are competing with very, very old Microsoft or Logitech keyboards. I actually remember there was one person who was using a piece of paper as a mouse pad. And it was not even a new piece of paper, not a fancy one, not a decorated one, just like a really old, like you could tell he's had it for a very long time. He takes that piece of paper with him everywhere.
Well, if you're used to it.
Yeah, and there is a strength in playing in a setup you're comfortable with, which is why when you go to like an event or something and you're not used to like the monitor size or the height or the table, you know, all the setup, atmosphere, it can throw your game off. So there's disadvantages like that as well, for sure.
Yeah, I think a big part of being a successful tournament player is being able to take the unexpected circumstances of traveling different places. Stuff is going to be messed up. Your accommodation could be messed up. You could have delays. You might not be able to warm up as much. And your results over time kind of depend on being able to get used to that. It definitely comes as a shock for me because I haven't done very many offline events, so whenever I go, it seems loud and it's different lighting setup, the chair is different, everything is different, it's noisy. Whereas a lot of these tournament players that are used to that.
For sure. I mean, it all comes with experience, I think, in the end.
Mm-hmm. We lost game time?
Oh.
Where did he go?
Oh, here he is. Okay, cool. He's pending.
I was joking with the chat a couple days ago about a hardcore mode of StarCraft, kind of like Dark Souls, where if you lose hard enough in a ladder match, it uninstalls the game for you.
Oh.
That would
really
be ridiculous. Looks like Pig is using his random card this game.
Big plays coming out from Team Vibe Pig. They're throwing down the random card.
Could still give him Zerg, though.
Yeah, that's true. But it's the advantage of the other team not knowing. Like, having to either drone scout or play it safe.
Mm-hmm.
It does put them behind just a little bit if the other team, you know, decides to go greedy. Or if they don't drone scout and they decide to go aggressive. Like, there's just so many different aspects at play when you're versing a random player.
Mm-hmm. You have to learn a lot of matchups. Arctic Gates. This is the cold map. Be sure to bring your jackets and earmuffs.
Ooh. Yeah, well, I mean, the good advantage for Vibe here is that he does live in Colorado and it's very often cold and snowing there.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, let's introduce this different race here that Pig has gotten.
Oh my
And
goodness.
the baby blue. Pig seems to have gotten a nice little mechanical race called Terran.
Terran.
And his teammate in the green, the color of his brand, his vibe.
And opposed to them, a team whose name equips them well for this map in particular. It is Wintertime.
Both look like they're going for the expansion as well here. So not going for that early aggression as I was originally expecting from them, as we did see it go well for them in game number 1 and 2 consecutively. Ooh, but in saying that, it does look like Winter gets the scout off on Pig's race straight away with that first Overlord scout.
How fortunate. Pig
Very
could have been in
lucky.
the other spawn, so that Overlord wouldn't have been able to see it just yet. Nice Zelnaga
yeah,
little stuff
true.
on this map, too. One of the things I enjoy
Yeah.
about casting is you can look at more of the features and stuff. Like this build in here, that's amazing.
Yeah, little things that you don't really notice when you're actually playing the game because you're more focused on like scout paths, overlord pathing, different little counterattack areas, and Zelnaga tower positionings and stuff like that.
Have you seen the Ewoks on Ascension to Ire?
I haven't.
Yeah, we don't have
Are they
that
cute?
map anymore, but there were 2 little areas in the corners of the map where there was like a party around a campfire where little Ewoks were dancing.
Oh, that's really cute.
Yeah, I
It's
didn't
a
notice that
really
until I was casting.
It actually looks like Pig has gone for macro play here. He's already expanded with his command center in the low ground, but he is going to go send out a Reaper to scout. Very interesting plays considering I feel like early game Zerg Terran 2v2 team is like very strong, but it looks like these guys, they're interested in playing out the long game.
Yeah, if you think about the rush of this map, it's a very kind of windy S-shaped path. It takes a while to get to the opponent, and there are 2 watchtowers in the way. So, of the different maps, this is probably the most awkward to attack on. So we may even see third bases out of players. Yeah, Game Time is taking his
Oh
third.
yeah, already throwing that third down. He's prepared to really play it out here. Really impressed with Pig's Reaper micro as well. Almost got the surround from the Zerglings, but he managed to kind of... Oh, did I speak too soon? I did. Oh man, Pig, you let me down, dude. You let me down. I was really
Stinks.
impressed up until that point. But really well played by Wintertime, having the Zerglings on the high ground, anticipating the Reaper re-entering the base there.
So to check on people's progress with their economy, we got 30 drones, now 36 for Vibe, 25 SCVs and 2 mules for Pig, 36 drones for Game Time, and 27 for Winter. So we are moving things right along. It doesn't look like any intention to all in the crap out of anyone. We're both kind of scaling it up, moving along.
Yeah.
Vibe's lair is done.
Oh, is he gonna go for the Spire? I saw a little cheeky drone going behind the mineral line there. Thought it was positioning itself to morph into a little Spire there, a little cheeky Spire. But he is getting the gas. The gases are really important for any type of tech he's got. And yes, it is going to be Spire play. Very exciting. I like it, but I would have loved it on the map where it had like so much empty airspace.
Mm-hmm. Having some huge muta battles way out there.
Yeah, it would have been crazy.
You definitely remember the era of ZVC where everyone played mass muta every game.
Oh yeah, I loved it. Maspito is my jam.
It's still a good strat for ZVZ.
Yeah, but you definitely have to transition a lot faster.
Mm-hmm.
You know, get to like tier 3 or transition to lurkers.
Mm. Oh, Raven harass here from Pig. Forcing a lot of
getting
lost
that
mining
nice
time
turn.
for Winter. The Raven has had a lot of changes recently. It had some abilities added, removed, added back. It's kind of closer to its old role before. The anti-armor missile is kind of like the Seeker missile. The turret is back, so we can pretty safely say it's a good unit again.
We do have a Hydralisk Den coming out from Game Time here. He's actually going for the Roach Hydra play. He's getting the upgrades for ranged attack and also Glowal Reconstitution for the Roach speed.
Roach Hydra is some solid stuff. You have the Roach as a tank, the Hydra's a DPS. It's a party.
Yeah. It's a really solid unit composition for Zerg. It's just very well rounded, especially since you're versing both Zerg and Terran. But 10 Mutalisks actually popping out now for Vibe, so we'll be able to do some harass. I feel like Winter is already pretty much prepared with the Spore Crawlers in his main base, and that was only placed down because of that pesky Raven that was doing some damage.
Couple drones killed. Looks like no Mutas lost yet. One of them is low, though. Mutas do regen really fast out of combat.
Yeah, he's definitely going to go around and try and pick up all of the map awareness for winter time. You know, delete all of those overlords. Delete them off the map.
Deny information, get some supply blocks. Let's see. Winter has to make a bunch of overlords now. Ugh. Yep, he's very supply blocked. Unfortunate. Infestation pit going down. Double gas at his third.
The one thing I do like about the double Zerg team Wintertime is that they have a decent amount of creep spread. And the main important thing is that all the creep is connecting all their bases, so they will be able to like defend against all 6 of their bases quite quickly because of that creep connection. But because of the Terran Zerg combination, they can't really, I mean, Pig can't really spread that creep vibe, sorry. Pig's the Terran.
There's a double Thor really drop.
Oh man.
2 Thors with the Junker skin, and they have huge blades on the side of their guns. That's gotta help with something.
Very nice. The Hydras come in to try and defend against this. Does look like Pig is gonna have to retreat with the Mutas. They back off for now. It was a nice loss of mining time that they inflicted on their opponents.
Alright, the drones are put back. 2 Infestors coming out for Winter.
Winter has a bunch of Mutas in the bottom right-hand side of the map. I'm not too sure what they're sneaking over there for. But if we look at the bases of Vibe, he doesn't have any Spore Crawlers. So that actually might do quite a bit of damage. There's nothing here to defend against it.
The sneaky Mutalisk ninja attack.
Just a little bit of counterattack, just a sneaky one.
Drones are cold.
Very good map awareness from Vibe, pulling them straight away. Going to still take some significant drone losses though, but he does come in with his own defensive mutas. Backs it up for now.
His 25 mutas.
That's a lot of mutas. That's actually a ridiculous amount of mutalisks. Oh, look at this in production. For Winter, he's got some 3 infestors, like pretty much completely built. If they manage to get a fungal off on Vibe's mutas, while the Hydras come and kill them off, it's going to be devastating. Devastating for Vibe Pig.
GameTime is a big Roach Hydra army. He's up to 186 supply. 2-2 is on the way for him, and a Hive as well. 11 more drones. Saturating a 4th base.
So whose position are you thinking, are you favoring at the moment here, Neuro? You think that the GameTime position is stronger with their army composition, or what do you think about Vibe Pig?
Well, the Roach Hydra presents a really solid army composition. The Mutas are more finesse units. They would prefer not to fight that big swell of Hydras, so it's kind of up to Pig to deal with the Roach Hydra for the most part.
Oh, I don't know about this engagement, Neuro. There's just too much of a concave, too much DPS here from Wintertime. Those mutas, they can't really do anything. They need to harass. Need to try and send those units back home. There's just no way he'll be able to defend against this many Hydras.
Yep. Huge push here. Nice spread, units up and down. Muta's trying to come in, get an angle.
Those siege tanks, though, they are doing work, and I actually think it will be enough to force Wintertime to back up for now.
Vibe's mutas do have Carapace, which makes them better at direct fighting than if they were to have had attack. Lots of infestors and lings. Natural complement of each other. Since lings don't cost any gas, you can save up more gas for the infestors.
Yeah, it's also very nice just to have like a bit of counterattacks going on. Ling run-bys, if you will. Decent fungal coming out from Winter. getting at least 6 or 7 of those mutas. But Pig's tank placement is actually beautiful at defending that.
Yeah, this is a very narrow choke. Tanks are very good in those small spaces where they can get lots of fire out.
Oh no! Didn't get a cancel off on that hatchery. Game time. Oh man, he's really just he really wants to just take over the map here. It's like he's playing Risk.
Yep. Just take bases. Be annoying. These hatcheries are big obstacles, so at the very least it delays the expansion of PigVibe.
Very true, very true. We got a lot of mutas looking to do some damage here, just picking off here. Units here and there. Anything that strays away from the main unit composition for wintertime, those mutas are on it, you know? They're hungry. They're looking. But look, oh my gosh, there's 4 fully loaded energy Vipers ready to get that parasitic bomb off on those mutas. Nice ducks, though.
Vibe has a greater spire with attack going on it. So we can make some broodlords. They're already morphing in here with some more corruptors in reserve. He's at 180 supply, so his composition should get more and more successful at direct fighting as mutas are phased out and broodlords are phased in.
Yeah, I really like the mobility of the mutas, just being able to defend against these Zergling counterattacks as well. The infested count for winter has grown quite significantly. That is 18 infestors, Neuro. 18. Oh my god, that is a lot.
Caster units gain value over time. Personally, I felt like the fungal, since it doesn't root anymore, isn't quite as good against mutas. Mutas seem more slippery now since you can't lock them down.
Yeah, you can't lock them down. They do slowly get away. I mean, if you have investor support with it, it's great. But if you have nothing to support it, then it's very difficult. Oh, this Ultralisk Cavern, very out in the open. He'll be able to pick that tech tree off. If he, oh no, those infested Terrans are going to be guarding it for now. But, ooh, Vibe managed to pick off a decent amount of those infestors. How many he's got left? He's got 6. Only 6. 18 down to 6, Neuro. Yep. What is up?
He lost a whole bunch.
That is crazy. So many infestors lost. He's remaking a lot of them now, but oh man, there's just attacks going on at the top of the map, attacks going on in the bottom of the map. They're both just fighting for more bases at this point.
Huge broodlord swell from Vibe. He's all the way up to 10
broodlords in total. That is ridiculous. The good thing about Vibe going Spire early is that he was easily able to transition to the broodlord tech, right? And he already had those Spire upgrades. Whereas Game Time, he's got his own greatest Spire, but he's just nowhere near at the same tech advantage as Vibe, having already have gone mutas.
Yep. Yeah, this is a map where establishing that air control early really gave them the safety they needed to get to that tier 3 tech.
Oh, and they tap out. Vibe Pig taking the lead the first time in this show match in game number 5.
That was a proper macro game.
That was actually could have gone either way, 100%. In the early game, definitely, I feel like it favored Game Time Winter, especially with that Roach Hydra ball. It was looking really dicey. He had the great concaves. He picked up a decent amount of units, especially Pig's tanks and balls. And really, only Vibe had a very, very fragile ball of mutas that if he kind of mismicroed them, could have lost very easily, and it could have been really dicey. So very well executed by both players. Pig and Vibe playing it safe with the perfect micro, I'm going to have to say, and unit positioning, really pulling through in that game there.
Yeah, it seemed like their utilization of the map was a lot better that game. Very nice game plan. Game Time did get the highest on the score screen with the most resources harvested. I think one of the fun aspects of playing these team games is looking at that score summary at the end and kind of comparing who built how much stuff.
Yeah. There was a lot of stuff built that game for sure.
All right. Getting Winter back. I would guess that they're talking amongst each other in Discord. Are they all streaming as well? Or are they not?
I believe they're streaming, but I don't know if they're in the same, all in the same Discord. Wouldn't they give away their strategies?
No, that would be so funny though with the banter.
It would be. That would be hilarious. Well, my stream chat's gonna have to tell me if they're in the same Discord or not. I would assume that Pig and Vibe are in the same Discord, and then separately Game Time and Winter are in the Discord channel too. But together would be quite hard to communicate with your teammate, right? If you are on the same channel.
Yeah, Tuco said everyone is streaming. 2018 has been really awesome for StarCraft. The 20th anniversary.
Yeah.
Lots of different
It's
events
been
and
really
stuff.
good. Very exciting stuff. Very exciting.
Yeah, each team is talking amongst each other. It seems like the wise course of action. Overgrown facility.
The facility of the overgrown.
You may build things, such as facilities, but nature will always reclaim over enough time. Looks like some purifier stuff in the middle.
Yeah, very, very well designed map. Beautiful. Nice little features here and there. On the right hand side of the map, we've got the team Vibe and Pig, and opposing them on the left, WinterGameTime. The map does look like it is divided in the middle here with a lot of open space, you know. There are some choke points with the little rock features and the watchtowers and the big purified thing in the middle, but I feel like it's still quite a large area for engagements to occur.
Yeah, and the nice thing with this one is you get to expand behind your base for expansion, which makes it a lot easier to defend. Your main is already established, you have creep there, and you're a little bit less vulnerable to those early attacks. So, of the maps that have been played so far, this one is a bit more on the macro side.
Yeah, for sure. And would you see players expanding as they know that it is a bit of a larger map? And it comes to a point where the map just becomes so large, you're not really going to favor that early aggression, right? Because it's just like it can be defended easier because the timing just hits later.
Mm-hmm. Vibe went gas, pool, and then hatch. He may go for the burrow roach play again. That served them pretty well. Pig going hatch, gas, pool. Winter going hatch, gas, pool. And game time going hatch, gas, pool.
Very standard Zerg opening.
Yep. For people who don't know, the reason that that's a really common progression is Legacy of the Void. We start with 12 workers, which is already a pretty good economy. And basically you're taking your other buildings, the hatchery, the extractor, the pool, as you have 16 workers on the mineral line, which is minimum saturation.
Yeah. We've got the Zergling speed coming out fairly early for Vibe, so we'll be able to get at least some scouting off. Oh, there comes the Roach Horn as well, so it looks like he is going to look to hit that timing of that Roach play, or at least use those Roaches defensively if he needs to.
Someone's saying this is match point. We do have 3 wins for a team, and it's a best of 7, so WinterGameTime needs to make it happen to tie it all up. Have a chance for the huge carts full of potatoes.
Carts full of potatoes, man. Potatoes for days. Potatoes for weeks. Nay, potato for months.
Indeed.
Depends on how often you eat the potatoes. I think those cards would last me a couple of weeks.
Vibe with a bunch of lings. Oh, and his league sweep finishes. All of Game Time's lings are going to be killed.
Yeah, because Vibe has that Zergling speed. There's just no way to outrun. You know, speed lings with your slow lings is just impossible. You can get this around on them and pick them off super easily. So they're coming across the map now. Some roaches as well behind them. They're chugging along behind, slowly but surely. And then when they reach the other side of the map, they're going to do some damage.
Vibe is all inning with 19 drones, and Game Time is taking the third. This could be really difficult for them to defend.
Yeah, I was going to say, it seems kind of very risky to be expanding into a third behind this, especially since both Vibe and Pig seem to be pumping out a lot of Zergling Roach Baneling at the moment.
The Ling Bane Roach dance has begun. There's a lot on the line here. Winter's counterattacking with a bunch of the Lings, trying to take some pressure off.
And it's doing exactly that, actually. It's made Pig's forces turn around. His entire Zergling army is now turned around to defend such a small army that Winter sent across to counterattack with.
Which
So
means that
Vibe's out
Vibe's
here in
roaches
the
aren't
middle of the
supported.
map. Yeah, defending for himself.
So many colors, you never know what's gonna blow up, who's on what's team.
And that's just something you have to try and work out as well, which is quite difficult to do as these players, as everyone is a Zerg player.
Yep. It's just gonna be a mess. Stuff is gonna blow up. Close micro there. Banes are pretty nice for defending. Lings aren't quite as good.
Good trade for Wintertime there with Bane trade, actually.
Still no drones out for Vibe. He's at 19. Winter has 22.
He has 12 more Lings in production, though. And he's going lair behind this, so I think he's just going for low econ tech units.
Huge hits on those Lings. The roaches are still intact.
Oh, it actually looks like they're going to be able to hold this and clean this up. And once they do, they're actually going to have better economy, I feel like, with Game Time having that third hatchery already morphed, already built.
Vibe is still making roaches. He still has a bunch of Lings. Anything can happen in Lingbane.
That's true. And, I mean, Vibe only beginning to drone right now, but not before making 6 roaches beforehand.
Oh, disastrous Bane hit. Where did it happen? Who knows? Oh, there could be another one. Game Time. Advancing forward with his Lings, trying to get some scouting, trying to take some pressure off.
And both Pig and Vibe look like they're going to be revisiting the macro side of Zerg now. 8 drones pumping out for Vibe, 6 just finishing up for Pig.
Pig's up
And
to
it's
4
now
gases with a third
Wintertime's
base.
turn to put the pressure back onto them, looks like.
That is a big mass of Banelings being morphed in.
Oh yeah, this is going to be so hard for Vibe and Pig to hold this. And I think Vibe's reacting to this perfectly. He's got 7 more roaches in production. He's going to need those roaches. He's going to need every single one of them to try and defend against that many Banelings. Oh my god! These Baneling trains making a beeline straight for Vibe's main base.
Drones survive.
Hot dog, they're all clumped up. It's so dicey.
He needs perfect splits.
Oh my god, already getting so many of those drones clumped up there. Like, he had a lot of drones in that natural. Even with the drone splits, it doesn't matter how many times you split the drones. If you've got a lot of them are gonna die. That actually puts Vibe down to 12 drones now. 12 worker count. That's detrimental in a game like this.
Pig had 44, but he took a bunch of damage too. He does have his Spire on the way. Quite a bank going. But is it going to be enough to defend all this? There are more roaches and Lings and Banes moving out.
I'm not too sure about this spine crawler play here from Pig, because spine crawlers, although they're great defensively, they don't exactly help your teammate out. And if your teammate gets pressured a lot, then you can't exactly help them too well. But it looks like the pressure is going to be put on Pig. The spine crawlers are just finishing up right now. He's got a couple of Banelings to try and hit with the clumps of Zerglings, and 3 spine crawlers are working away. Ooh, trying to defend his mineral line. The Spire's gonna go down! He does get the cancel off, but that is just so devastating to lose that tech like that.
Well, he's gonna try and rebuild it at the natural. This is just a disaster for Pig and Vibe.
Disaster everywhere. The Queen's getting picked off from Vibe. He does have some roaches to defend against it. The Lings, though, they're doing a lot of damage to Vibe's base. The pressure's being alleviated for momentarily for Pig, because they do realize he does have a lot of static defense. But now all the pressure's going to be put on Vibe, and everyone's tunneling into Vibe's base. Zerglings from Game Time, Zerglings from Winter. They're trying to do some damage. And behind this, they do have really good economy as well, with 23 drones for Game Time, 32 for Winter. That is actually just so far superior in economy. They don't do any counterattack pressure to try and even up this this value in economy difference. It's just going to be very hard from this point on for Winter So for Pig and Vibe to come back into this game.
Yeah, well, the Spire is done, so maybe miracles can happen here. The Mutas will be able to focus down Banes, and they should create a lot of space for Vibe to recover. Vibe's Roach count is pretty high. It's enough to kind of plug this pathway, and then the Spines are bolstering it behind, so...
That's true, and they are the only roaches left on the map as well. They do belong to Vibe, 13 roaches. And, I mean, Game Time and Winter, they only have a 35-odd Zerglings between them.
Winter's working on these rocks here. That could create another opening. Oh, no, Vibe sees it. Roach is at the high ground. It's been a violent early game, but it seems like the pressure's backing off a little bit, and people are going to look at some lair tech options.
Yep. And Pig with the 5 Mutalisks. Almost complete here. Which, you know, with no Spore Crawlers in middle lines, might give them the even up advantage they need. Evening the playing field.
Never give up. Redrone your losses, saturate your bases. Pig's Mutas are out. He's got 5. That's enough to one-hit a worker. Gonna keep making those. I think there is resource sharing allowed. One of the tactics that a lot of 2v2 or 3v3 teams will use is transfer a bunch of gas to the Muta players so they can make a ridiculously huge flock.
Yeah, because as you know, if you guys play Zerg and ever want to go Mutalisk, you're always gas-starved. Always.
100 gas per unit is quite expensive, but you get a lot for it. You get a flying unit that's fast, that heals out of combat with the bouncing glaive attack. It's a pretty nice unit if you can keep it alive.
Well, Winter's reacted to these Mutalisks on the map. He's got 7 Hydralisks, almost finishing up here. Queens are deflecting the Mutalisks for now, harassing those Overlords, trying to supply block Wintertime.
Quite a few have been taken out. It's all about grabbing that low-hanging fruit. Mutas don't really want to contest the might of the anti-air with the Spores and the Queens and the Hydras. They want to go and see if there are any openings. Grab a couple drones, a couple Overlords, maybe a Queen, or some units being transferred between the bases.
I'm not gonna lie, I quite like the style that Vibe and Pig are going for here. They're going for Baneling speed with their Muta support. So they're going to try and connect the Banelings with the Hydralisks. But this is a desperate attempt, I'm not going to lie, because they are very, very far behind in economy. They've been trying to play catch-up for a very long time. There's a huge Roach Ravager force moving up across the map, and being able to deflect this is just going to be so difficult. I feel like these Mutas need to be trying to soften up these Roaches that are moving across the map at the moment. They just didn't know that they were pushing out.
Yeah, well, the Mutas did reduce game time to 25 workers. It is a huge Roach Ravager attack. Vibe doesn't have anywhere close to enough Roaches to stop this. So he may lose a base or two in the process. He has quite a few Roaches on the high ground. His lair is done.
That high ground advantage might, you know, slow this down momentarily, but with Winter's and Game Time's Roach Hydra Force combined, there's just too much. There's just way too much here for Vibe and Pig to be able to hold.
Oh, and Winter has the noxious Hydra skin, so fashionable. How can you possibly hope to stop such cool-looking units?
Just so trendy.
Yeah. There are a bunch of speed banes here, though. They could get some awesome connections. Oh, he's not watching!
Oh my god! That was actually so amazing. Getting absolutely every Hydra in Vibe's base. Absolutely beautiful. The only thing I'm concerned about, though, is the reinforcement Hydras. Pig doesn't have that many more Zergling Banes to clump with that. And now that Zergling Baneling speed has been, like, revealed to Wintertime, they're going to be aware of that. They're going to position their Roaches in the front, their Hydras in the back. And if they have enough Banelings to go around the Roaches, then they'll just split the Hydralisks. It's going to be so difficult.
Bunch more speed banes looking for those connections on the Hydras.
Oh, and here comes the splits. Very nice splits here from Winter. Only being able to take out 4 or 5 of those Hydras and cleaning up the rest with the Mutalisks.
Pig does have a really good economy, though.
But the economy for Vibe is actually just going to be holding them back. The production here for Vibe is 2 drones. He's got like How many drones has he got left? He's only got 11 drones remaining, and Pig's drone line is on the run.
Just desperately trying to get back in the game. Pig cleaning up the mess in his base, roaches and lings and ravagers. Still
I
some
must say, they're
outside.
putting up a valiant fight. They've lasted a really long time after taking such significant economic loss in the early game.
Yep. Those Banes clearing the Hydras made this a lot closer than it would have been.
I mean, Pig has actually a really scary number of mutas at the moment, but he lost that base in trying to clean up the rest of the Roach Hydra. And I mean, that's the main objective for Roach Hydra, is to hinder the economy of the muta player. Hinder the economy so that they can, you know, get their defenses up back home and remax their army and make an even stronger one that is basically muta-proof. Mass Queens, mass Hydras, some Banelings, because, you know, to defend against the Banelings that will inevitably try and connect with their Hydras, and, you know, a lot of Roaches to tank the Banelings as well. And if they want, they can incorporate Lurkers or Infestors, and then it's pretty much like becomes exponentially much more difficult for the muta player.
Pig's going for the gold base, continuing to power up with this muta production. +1 is almost done. Attack for these mutas. The Hydras are not upgraded, so the mutas could deal with some small and medium numbers of Hydras and Queens.
Yeah, if they stray away from the clump, then they can pick them off. And I think there's a risky move, taking the gold, but it's one that they really need to try and do. Pig is just, you know, trying to do some economic damage here, while Vibe tries to get his economy out of the dumps.
That is a lot of dead overlords. He made way too many, so he's not even supply blocked.
Maybe he just knew that was going to happen. So he's just like, yeah, just make a bunch more.
Game Time walking it out with the slow queen push.
Oh, but the army that follows behind it just looks so scary. So many roaches. Vibe doesn't have nearly enough to hold this. And here goes the gold base. It was a risky move, like we said, but one they had to take.
Pig's mutas can beat those queens if they can get over there.
Oh, but the mutas won't be able to contest against Winter's amount of Hydras, and the zoning out from Winter's Hydras is actually really well done. He's trying to go and defend his base from the mass amount of roaches, but are forced to engage with these Hydras, taking significant mutalist losses.
Yeah, even with the upgrade, it's not really the best. Kind of a situation of desperation. What options do you have?
Yeah, exactly, and that's the story of the entire game, unfortunately. They've been playing catch-up ever since the early game harass. They've never been able to just get their foot back in the game.
And it looks like this will tie it all up. 3-3, we're going to Game 7.
Oh my god, right to the final game, guys. We couldn't have asked for a better show match, I'm telling you. You know, it wasn't a decisive, one-sided victory for either team. Both players are playing really well, trading games off of each other, showing us these strats that mixing them up each game. It's just, it's exciting, Neuro. I'm excited to be here today.
I love Zerg.
We all do. We're also players.
The bugs. Okay, what is the last map? I don't know the 2v2 maps. It's probably something amazing. Ladder maps?
So far in the show match, Neuro, I have to say, this last game could go either way. It's anyone's cart of potatoes at this point.
Yep, might as well flip a coin. You remember those coin flip memes? It was more in Heart of the Swarm when people would claim that ZVZ was a coin flip.
Yeah.
Just hope that your coin ends up on the correct side. They always say that. Oh, people want game music. We can turn that on. Sound. Nice. I was kind of surprised doing the achievement hunt race thing made me enjoy the campaign more rather than less, even though it was a no-sleep binge marathon session.
Well, I mean, it's more exciting because there's a bigger purpose, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It's more competitive, and I think that's why we love StarCraft as a whole anyway. It's because it's a very competitive game.
Yeah, the campaigns are also structured pretty well. I noticed moving from Wings to Hostile Legacy that they did polish a lot of different stuff with the interface and the customization of how you're moving into the different levels. They gave us more flexibility where you're not just picking like one tech or the other. You can switch based on the mission, which makes it really fresh. The characters are cool. I think if I had to pick my favorite characters from each campaign, the first one, I don't know, Wings. I like Kaczynski because he's what the barcodes use on ladder. And
yeah.
then I like Kerrigan and Abathur, and Phoenix is really awesome in Legacy.
Yeah.
Seeds of Ire. We're finishing it up on a Protoss map.
Ooh. I wonder if PigVibe is going to use their last card. They still have one card left, right? Or am I dreaming?
I hope it's an Ace of Spades. And then they use their final random card, and it gives them Zerg. Ready, ready. Oh, they're double Terran, what?
No, I think it's a mistake.
Race game time. There we go. All Zergs. Are you ready for the action, the thrill, the blood on the floor? It's ZZVZZ. Taking it easy.
No one's using their card. Alright. It's just gonna be the ZV.
It's on. You'll need it. Oh. Pig. Bringing it
Pig
loud.
With the shots fired.
Pig going on and saying words to the enemy team. What a competitor. Nice clans we've got here. Pig's clan, Root, Sloth, and Winter's clan. Get a clan. There's a Neuro clan. There's a Bee clan.
Yeah, clans are all the rage. If you don't have one,
then what is your plan?
What are you doing? What's your point? Alright, where is the positionings of our teams here, Neuro? What's gonna happen this game? What's going down?
In the top right-hand corner, the northeast, in the blue and the yellow, it is game time in winter, winter time.
Hot dog. And in the bottom left, in the final game of the day, bringing home the big potatoes, potentially, it is Pig and Vibe. Vibe and Pig.
The vibrating pig. Overlords
so
floating majestically through the skies early on, before the violence begins. It reminds me of people at competing companies going to work when two opposing overlords pass each other in the air. They don't hurt stuff, they just float along. Maybe they give each other a stern look. My swarm's better than your swarm. Yeah, well, you're stupid. Or something like that.
Judgmental overlords, Neuro. Oh my god.
Maybe they're friendly.
Just eyeing each other off. Staring each other down.
Nice skins. So Leviathan skin for Vibe. Default skin for game time. And it looks like Winter and Pig both have Primal. Get your skins. Skin to win. Hatch gas pool for both Winter and game time. Hatch first into pool no gas for Vibe. And gas pool hatch for Pig. So Pig's ling speed is going to be done first. It's already underway.
Yeah, he took a pretty late expansion there. He really wants to get that scout off, I think. He wants to really know what's going down. Maybe do a little bit of early aggression himself. pick off a couple of drones if you can, and really just see where the game goes from there. But Vibe looks like he is wanting to play this game out for a little bit of a longer game. He's not really interested in risking anything with any early aggression. Taking that third base.
Get rich or die trying. Spine crawler, trying to anchor in that defense, get some fighting potential without getting any gas. Game time saving the gas. There's no ling speed just yet.
That's interesting, actually. He's going for his own third base behind this as well. So it looks like he's going to be playing the Roach one. The Roach play, I should say.
Lings versus Lings. Pig's Ling speed is going to finish soon. I don't know if Game Time's Lings are going to be able to escape. In 3,
no,
2,
it doesn't
1.
seem like it. Yeah, oh gosh. And Pig's actually got a lot more Zerglings coming behind that as well. So picking off that initial batch of Zerglings there from Game Time, he's going to go across the map, see what's up, try and see if he can pick off a queen or something up the ramp. There are 2 Morphin Banelings on the ramp and 2 queens blocking the other ramp by Winter.
Look at them holding the door. Amazing.
That actually makes Pig's Zerglings a little bit less effective here, and that's definitely not where you want to be in Pig's situation. I mean, his teammate Vibe is playing the macro style, which is nice, have that backup plan, but definitely wanted to do more damage than what you currently see here.
Is Pig gonna go for it, or be content with map control? Link's going up, checking.
Getting a Baneling there for free.
Just threatening and posturing. Pig has taken his own third. He's droning up as well. We've got 40 drones for Vibe, 30 for Pig, 37 for Game Time, and 29 for Winter.
Yeah, but we do see Game Time as well with that Roach production. The +1 ranged attack with the Roach production is probably looking to hit that +1 timing window with, you know, Winter's transition to mutas for Roach Muta. It's looking like.
Pig did get a scout in, running around. Did he see the spire?
Oh, he's gonna see it. He's gonna see it now. Oh,
the drone pole.
The drones.
He sees it.
So close. He sees it now. That was absolutely amazing micro from Pig. I mean, Winter did so well trying to defend the scout there from Pig, but Pig just cheekily got through like a slippery Zergling, you know, through the cracks.
Never forget the little Zergling that lays down its life to scout.
Sacrificial for the greater of the swarm, you know?
Yep. Bible thump. Alright, Overseer Scout, cleaned up. Vibe has his Spire as well. Vibe has 6 gases. Winter has 4 gases.
Oh my gosh, I've gotta say, this is the greediest game from Vibe we've seen yet. 70 drones, Neuro. 70.
He is fully saturated on 3 bases.
Yeah, actually even oversaturated on the 3rd base. Winter and Game Time, they only have about 58, 43, you know. That's quite a significant drone lead.
Yep. +1 ranged or ahead for Game Time though. Winter's mutas are out. So his mutas are earlier. He's gone for 2 base muta, whereas Vibe has gone for 3 base saturation, and now he's going to start his muta production.
But he has more mutas in productions, and I feel like he will be able to be defensive with the mutas as well, which gives him the advantage, defender's advantage. So he has the mutas popping out from his hatcheries, which will lead to the greater muta ball, and if Winter does decide to engage that, he will lose the fight. Nice spores from spore placement from Pig, not losing too much, maybe like 1 drone, delaying the gas mining there for a moment. Oh, picking up a couple mutas here. Yeah, nice micro here from Vibe, trying to zone out those mutas. Another couple of mutas getting picked off here from Winter. He really needs to get back to his main base where he's got, you know, hopefully some defense, you know, anything. Queen, spores, the spore's not ready yet. There's 2 queens trying to defend it. Some overlords getting picked off here, left, right, and center. Winter knows he can't engage this. He does not have the numbers in mutas.
This Mutaflock is getting pretty ridiculous. 18 of them. If he can snipe this base, that'll be a really crippling blow to game time.
Oh, yeah. That would actually give us the slight advantage there to Vibe. But Winter comes in, picks off a couple of mutas very aggressively. And he does have what I said before, the defender's advantage. So the muta count actually is in favor of Winter at the moment.
Fall back.
Until the 8 mutas from Vibe, sorry, pops out.
Looks like Game Time has a boatload of roaches, +1 range attack and roach speed on those. This is a very windy map through these little forest trails with cobblestones. Very nice.
Oh yeah, this is a lot. We have, how many? 41 roaches. 41 roaches here from Game Time. He will have to attack defensively up these choke points, as that is not a favorable engagement that Game Time wants to take, actually.
He wants to fight in range of these queens to get the transfuse and spore support if possible. Game Time working on these destructible rocks, this debris.
Oh my god, I don't think their units are quite in position for this. They might be able to get like a better position in this base, or at least snipe the hatchery.
Yeah, Vibe's muta count is less than Winter's. But there are Hydras on the high ground here. This is going to be a pretty close fight. The Roaches moving on up. Queen's tanking for the Hydras.
What?
Winter's muta's on top doing a lot of work.
Yeah, they're doing a lot of damage, and actually Game Time's Roaches look like they're doing a lot of damage. As the Infestors come through, nice fungal going off, but really that just slows down the Roaches, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, that hatchery does get sniped, and that's actually what we wanted to see from Vibe's mutas to Game Time's hatchery. And now Winter and Game Time are in the lead, having crippled one of the economies of the Zerg players from Game Time. I mean, PigVibe. Speaking so hard.
Couple good fungals could change the world, though. So we'll see if these are the chosen infestors to bring it back. The roach count has been thinned out quite a bit. A bunch of overlords being accidentally rallied across the map. Whoopsie daisy.
Oh yeah. If he takes out those overlords uncontested, he could actually potentially supply block Game Time quite severely here.
So it's Roach Hydra Infestor Muta versus Muta Roach Misrallied Overlord.
And here they are, yeah, he spots all these overlords. And let's have a look at Game Time. Is he supply blocked? Yeah.
That is unfortunate. Wrong place at the wrong time, overlords. Muta's flying around. Winter put on that harassment, denying this new base. Another big swell of roaches. The Infestors caught out. Infestors, please.
Oh.
Nice fungals, helping the mutas focus those down. Roach Hydra behind it. So,
very nice engagement here from Vibe Pig, actually.
Oh, huge fungal.
Massive fungal. Massive fungal. Oh, will it be enough, though? Winter has so many.
That's 27 mutas from Winter. Vibe has 19. Game Time's
like
ground
the back
army
and
is
forth
struggling.
here between these two teams. It just seems like, you know, taking out bases, really good engagements, really puts the game back and forth. Like it's still, at this point in the game, it's still anyone's game.
Yeah, these two teams are pretty evenly matched. Bunch of Lings out here for Vibe. I'm not sure if he forgot those. It would be really nice to see those harassed. There he goes. The Lings are on a journey. They may be able to snipe a base. He hasn't done much with ground just yet. This gold base is totally undefended from ground. Oh no, there's Roach Hydra. Never mind.
It was undefended momentarily there.
Infestor Muta wanting to work together. Lots of dead space here. This looks like it's the Spear of Adun. I'm not sure what this map is. It's a beautiful Protoss ship, I guess. Yeah,
little pesky Zergling run by attempt there from Vibe, but does get cleaned up. very swiftly, very cleanly. Not much damage really being taken there.
Yeah, he just has +1 melee, I believe. Yep.
Both players really have to be on top of the game for this. Like, they can't blink most of the time, because one blink could mean all your units have been fungled, or all your bases have been counter-attacked, you know?
Yep, the danger of playing with huge mutaflocks. It's 41 mutas for Winter, 32 for Vibe. There are infestors as well that could turn the tide.
I'm just praying that Pig can get that fungal off on Winter's mutas, because he does look like he's got the muta lead. Let's have a look at the units. It's 32 mutas for Vibe against the 44 mutas of Winter.
Roach Hydra looking to come in here. Getting the pre-splits. Game time hold position at the high ground. Winter's going over to this base. Very low. Snipes it.
Oh, man. Oh!
Pretty good fungals there.
Oh, but the flank from behind with the Roach Hydra picking off all but 2 of those infestors.
Winter's mutas are completely gone. He's got a couple stragglers. But this Roach Hydra army is pretty strong.
Oh,
Pig
this
does have
actually
+2 attack.
looks like to be favoring PigVibe at the moment, cleaning up the army on his side of the map. It really just came down to that one engagement, I feel like. Having cleared up all those mutalists is just so detrimental.
But wait, there's
for
more.
Winter.
Winter has lings in all of Vibe's bases. He's on the back foot now. Everything is being pulled back. This takes a lot of pressure off Winter in game time. They can kind of think about their next steps. Do I continue to mass mute a Roach Hydra or do something different? We'll see.
Well, at the moment, we see Winter still making those mutalists 3 more in production, plus he's getting +1 attack. Oh, actually, sorry, that's level 2 attack for his mutalists. So I think he still is keen on the muta production.
+3 flyer attacks for Vibe. Getting those super strong mutas. If you're going to make a lot of a unit, you might as well upgrade them all the way. It's a good call. Pig's units are trapped in this valley. Just a big traffic jam.
Oh boy. Pig already starting up that level 3 ranged attack for his Roach Hydra, though. That's gonna be that's gonna be very deadly once that fulfills, you know. But game time, he's decided he wants to go for the Vipers, try and possibly to, you know, get some blinding clouds on mass Roach Hydra ball, or those parasitic bombs on mass mutas. So like either way, Vipers are a great addition to Winter Time's unit composition.
If we could just look at the supply for a moment, Pig is at 150, Winter is at 123, Game Time is at 200, and Vibe is at 144. Ooh. So we see a bit of a supply lead here, but keep in mind a lot of that is in Roaches. Roaches don't have a lot of value for their supply. It's one of the downsides of the unit.
Oh yeah, it really comes down to this next engagement, I think. I really am
the fungals.
Really surprised how on the ramp, that was actually really nice catch there for Pig.
Infestors seem like a really good choice for this map with all the narrow chokes.
Vibe, watch out! He's got Vipers!
Everyone has Vipers, everyone has Infestors. Whatever happens, it's gonna be a mess.
Nice fungal there from the high ground for Pig.
Winter's got a bunch of Queenling Mutas working on these queens. Roach Hydra fighting Roach Hydra. Fungals all around.
Oh, I like the infested turret wall. Oh, some parasitic bombs going down on Vibe's muta group. He does try to split, but he regroups them, and all those mutas take so much significant damage.
But they live.
They're so low. They're so low, Neuro.
They'll heal up all the way if you can keep them alive. He needs to get the heck out.
Yeah, they can heal up quite quickly if they are out of combat.
Pig is at 151 supply. Game Time is at 153, so he lost a lot of units. Vibe going for a huge Ling counterattack. The Ling's running past the gold base into what I guess is the natural. Killing some Hydras, killing some Roaches, just any straggler units.
Some stray Roach Hydra, getting the surrounds. Does a lot more damage if you can get a full surround with those Zerglings on the Roach Hydras.
Ling's at the gold. Killing some of Dem's drones. Pig's infestor count is up to 11. 37 mutas for Winter, 36 for Vibe. I believe Vibe's muta upgrades are better. Yeah, Winter has +2 attack, +1 carapace. Vibe has +3, I believe. Yep, +3 attack, +2 armor.
Ooh. Interesting that he went for the +3 attack before the armor, you know? And muta versus muta battle, usually it is all about that carapace.
Yeah,
but it is no ordinary muta versus muta battle, you know? It's 2v2, you've got roaches and hydras to think about. Oh my god! Winter, no! Winter's muta's getting caught there, right in the middle of this army.
Pig did lose a lot of his ground army, though.
That's true, but I think there's enough mutas here actually now for Vibe to do enough damage, but he does decide to back up for now. A couple of those mutas are still pretty bruised, so I suppose he doesn't want to quite risk it just yet.
We're getting down to the wire as well. There's only a finite number of bases on this map. GameTime's goal is mostly mined out. There are a couple bases remaining, but once the resources are out, then they can't keep making armies. 47 drones for Winter. He does have 28 mutas still, but Vibe has 46 mutas and 2 Vipers.
Oh yeah, I mean if he can get those Vipers to parasitic bomb all of Winter's units. Where are the Vipers from GameTime? Did they get picked off?
It looks like they did. There are no Vipers on their team for either player. Looks like GameTime is tapping it.
GG! Oh, well his army got cleaned up just from the sheer force of those mutas, and I guess that +3 attack on those mutas really soared through at the end there for Vibe. Pig really doing a great job at fungling all of Winter's mutas, so they're really avoiding the muta versus muta interaction, because Winter did, for majority of that game, have the muta lead. He had the numbers in mutas. It was amazing. But Vibe and Pig, all the way to Game 7, Neuro, taking it through in this 2v2 show match with the victory.
Awesome.
4-3 victory.
We got to see a nice range of styles, too, from some completely cheese fest games to that really long-term, almost starvation macro game with how many bases were taken.
Hot dog. He lost his army to the mutas, and he was done.
See that army.
What? And then Dan's micro, Vibe's micro at 488, the highest we've seen in all 7 games today. Oh gee, what a show match.
Here's a man who pushed a lot of buttons.
It was an absolute pleasure casting with you, Neuro.
Yep, good
We
stuff.
should do it again sometime. Shout out to Tugo organizing this thing, and also I believe raising the funds for the show match as well for the potatoes.
What an elaborate and fantastic coin flip that was.
Many coin flips, many outcomes.
Well, congrats to the winners. I think everyone technically won a little bit here. Lots of hype around seeing some 2v2 stuff. I know a lot of people who watch StarCraft streams play team games, so it's cool to see some of their favorites playing against each other in a team game format. Nice. Well, I'll probably wrap up my stream here pretty soon. I may host you. I know you're just getting started, right?
Oh yeah, I just started. Everyone's like, let's start early. I was like, I just woke up. Oh man, yeah, it was actually really fun. I like casting with you, Neuro. We should do it again.
Yeah. Indeed, the good stuff. Good working with you. Keep it real, and have an awesome
Keep it
stream.
real, keep it fresh.
For certain.
Thanks, Neuro.
Go make some bugs. I'm counting on
I'll make
you.
plenty of blacks.
All right. See ya.
Peace.
Would you be interested in the next 2v2? What do you mean the next 2v2?